Zane Clodfelter with Otters TV. We're wrapping up a rare 4-game series in the Frontier League. Normally the series don't go as many as 3, but because of a postponement back in Avon, Ohio, a doubleheader on Tuesday. That was a split. Otters win last night, and then in the finale on Thursday in front of a nice crowd, 3,700 people here for German Heritage Night and a Thirsty Thursday powered by Working Distributors. Tyler Vail gives up 2 runs in the first inning and then just deals. But those 2 runs stood up.
Yeah, it was quite the pitcher's duel here tonight, especially like you said after that first inning. Obviously a little rocky start there for Tyler Vail, something that he's used to. He's been able to bounce back before, but he definitely had his best, I guess, comeback performance after giving up an early run that we've seen this season here tonight.
Yeah, so really how many times have I said it's been a weird series?
I think everyone.
Yeah, no, everyone.
It feels like it.
But it was like, okay, when you look at it, a split for the Otters.
Well, that was unexpected.
Yeah, that was a firework, right? Okay, so when you assess the split between the Otters and the Crushers, kind of taking those numbers out of it, what team looked better over the course of the last 3 days, in your opinion?
That's tough.
Yeah, no, it is.
Because I really felt like it was pretty evenly balanced. Of course, the 2 teams are pretty much respectively in each of their divisions, about the same spot. More wins toward Lake Erie. But I thought that the Otters really I thought they played a pretty good series. Defensively, pretty sharp. Obviously, there were some weird plays, I guess, that came across in the doubleheader on Tuesday. But overall, I thought the Otters did play a pretty decent series to give themselves a chance. Just unfortunately, again, at times the offense wasn't quite there for the timely clutch hit. But of course, last night, being a 7-2 victory, the offense exploding, but the bottom of the order contributing, top of the order contributing. Just some of the breaks just didn't go the Otters' way, I feel like, in this series a little bit.
See, last year I feel like it's kind of deja vu. Last year when Lucas Corley, hey, when he was sitting in your chair, roughly around the same time, we had a similar conversation. The Otters were kind of spinning the wheels at the time. They went through a big offensive funk where they went over 20 innings without scoring a run. And it was around the same time, and I think part of it is, and it's no fault of Andy or anybody, it's just the way that the Frontier League works, is we're getting closer and closer to the deadline where you can't make any more transactions, add or release any more players. So this really is the time. So Andy, in May, early part of June, kind of used those months to kind of assess his team, and then he started to make some changes, and then over the last week we've seen a lot of new faces, so it might take time for some of them to then gel into the new lineup. Yeah,
the one thing that stood out to me tonight, Tyler Vail, who's obviously been with the Otters now for all this season, of course, in previous stint, first time working with Brent Whitey.
Yeah.
He just signed just last night, added to the roster today. So you going into the game, you think, okay, how are these 2 guys going to try to put together a plan where they can kind of work together and build up that chemistry a little bit? And I think that's one perfect example of what you're trying to say, where these guys are really coming in and just trying to find their place and hopefully fit with the team chemistry.
That's weird for me. Home games at Bosse Field, I normally take in batting practice from the dugout. I know, most of the players just because we all know the players because we work with this team every day. But there were a couple of guys today during batting practice before the finale against the Crushers, and I didn't know who they were. So I'm sure over time they're going to have enough success that we will know who they are, and everybody in Evansville. But still, it's just a little weird right now.
It's a little weird, but it's a perfect opportunity to introduce yourself to someone. And of course, they have to become familiar with us because more than likely you're going to interview them for Otters TV.
And it's going to be just a tremendous interview, right?
Yes.
So.
But we've seen some of these newcomers during the middle of the season that Evansville's acquired contribute. Joe DeLuca is one example. David Cronin, a big one right now, at second baseman for the Otters. It's just, again, trying to find the right guys that fit the right lineup together.
You mentioned some of the guys that the Otters have gotten since opening day. Spencer Medic is one of them. And on Wednesday, finally had run support. We talked to him for an interview that'll appear on Otters TV within the next couple of days about run support. He said, I really don't count wins and losses. What he says he really focuses on his team's record in games that he starts. So he actually had his first win as an Otter on Wednesday in a 7-2 win over the Crushers, despite the fact that he was named the Frontier League Pitcher of the Week on Friday after pitching a complete game against Normal. But he pointed out he's 3-1, or the Otters are 3-1 when he starts, and that is his big stat.
Yeah, kind of just the way the circumstances fall coming out of the All-Star break. Basically, there's just one weekend series for the league to decide who the pitcher of the week is going to be, getting that award on Monday. And again, like you said, getting that run support. And so far, he's been impressive, though, in most of his starts. And right now, that looks like to be a pretty good trade for the Otters.
You know, he referenced it. He missed all of 2017. So the fact that he has now come back, and thank you, Joliet, for the trade. Obviously, you know, what is it, a player to be named later perhaps,
right.
So they might get somebody really good from us. But still, the fact that he's been able to come in with not a lot of innings over the last year and a half just really shows you how impressive he's been.
Yeah, and seeing him in his work outside of his starts, you can tell he's taking it seriously, trying to make a good impression considering that he was traded from Joliet to Evansville. And I can already see where he's already having a good effect on some of the other guys in the clubhouse as well for the Otters, and he's bringing, I think, just another experienced guy to the Evansville Otters rotation. Like I said, missing some time. I'm sure, as most people do, when they miss a significant amount of time with injury or what have you, they see the game in a different perspective and they learn from it. I think that's something where he's been able to do that and maybe improve his game based on what he's learned.
I was on assignment on Tuesday. That was the big doubleheader day, the split, so I'm not going to try to pretend like I know what I'm talking about there because I was on assignment elsewhere, so I really didn't get a chance to watch it. Are there just a couple of things that really stood out to you from that Tuesday split?
Well, first of all, getting that Game 1 victory, ending that losing skid for the Otters was huge.
That was what 5 games?
Going back to before the All-Star break, not a good start out of the All-Star break. The guys were kind of hanging their heads a little bit. They needed that one bad and try to get their momentum going back in the right direction. Again, Game 2 was kind of just weird. There's a lot of weird plays. There's also some good defensive plays as well.
Game 2s and the doubleheaders here at Bosse
right.
Field are in the press box. I know
yeah.
what's said in the press box stays in the press box, but we have a hashtag that we're very affectionate about. Hashtag Bosse Field After Dark.
Right.
Yeah, so like.
Right, and the thing about it is, again, we're talking about Game 1 went pretty quickly, and then Game 2, just things seem to change.
Yeah, so it is interesting. The Otters are what, 500 right now?
Yeah,
so just
40 with the 500 mark.
Yeah, so I don't think they've fallen below 500 at this point yet, though, right?
No, and the thing about right now, that with Evansville, again, floating around that 500 mark, yeah, they haven't played their best within the last few weeks, again, going back to before the All-Star break, but there's a lot of teams who have kind of fallen off that have been toward the top, and some teams who've been toward the bottom that are now coming up. Joliet is a good example. They were toward the bottom of the East Division. They've rocketed themselves toward the top of the East. Traverse City's been on a nice run in the East Division as well.
Florence in the West.
In the West.
Because I think Florence is past Southern Illinois. If I read the Frontier League website correctly, which that's a 50-50 chance, I believe Southern Illinois is 1-9, entering today 1-9 in their last 10. They've fallen now, so I think they're just above Gateway. So at least we have seen, if you're an Otters fan, other competitors, challengers, contenders in your division struggle. The Otters, yes, have struggled, but they're still what, second?
Still second.
Still second. So the thing about it is, though, and I was talking with Nathan Laprete, did I get that right? Nathan Laprete? Sam says yes. About how the divisions are kind of stacking up here, and we talked in a conversation that Schaumburg won the league last year,
right.
over 500, but if the playoffs started today, they wouldn't be in. They'd be in 4th place in the East.
And what's amazing, they had, if you recall, they had a terrible start to the year.
No, they did.
They had a terrible start, and here they have come back to now be above 500. And again, right now, not really in the hunt, but they're still in the mix, should I say, right now. And that's just the case for a lot of teams. If they can kind of just stay afloat, keep it going, get toward August here in a couple weeks, when they start playing more of the interdivision opponents, then you start setting yourself up to control your own destiny in that playoff push.
A lot can change between now and the end of the regular season, obviously, but just from what I have seen and from the teams that I've seen from the East as opposed to the teams in the West, you would have to think that the East will get 3 playoff teams. In the West, the only team that will get a postseason spot would be the division winner.
Right, yeah, and that's just an interesting scenario right now, again, with Lake Erie, Washington. They've been pretty much a constant toward the top of the East.
Joliet.
Like I said, Joliet's up there now, and
Schaumburg. I mean,
it's very fascinating. And again, with Lake Erie coming into the series, you would have thought that they might have more control of the series against the Otters because their numbers kind of go under the radar a little bit. Their pitching staff, very good. Sam and I were talking about before the series. Basically, quote unquote their worst pitcher, had an ERA still in the 3s. So I mean that says a lot about their staff as a whole. And again, they kind of have some up and down inconsistency moments here at Bosse Field, but again, it just shows that they have some potential to be a tough team to out later on in the season potentially, and again in the postseason, depending if the Otters meet up with them again.
Yeah, no, it just very, very interesting. Again, a lot of things to play out. So we shall see how kind of all that floats around. If you look behind us here, we are in the Bud Light Line patio. By the way, a little sales plug here. If you want to have this fantastic view during an actual Otters game, you can. You just have to call 812-435-8686, or you can find even some information online that I think Preston updated this year. So yeah. Preston doing a lot of great work there, but the tarp is on the field. As we're recording this, it's Thursday night after the Otters finale against the Crushers. I've seen the Courier Press articles and Wayne Hart and Jeff Lyons and all those people on the news bracing us for Friday. Will be interesting to see. This isn't our first rodeo with severe
weather.
It's the Midwest. It's the Midwest. So I've seen
weird things can happen.
Yeah, I've seen the future track where like the radar like has lines developing right on the Wabash and then moving south. But then one of them, basically, there's all the bad stuff was to the north, and so I don't know. I'm optimistic. It's very disheartening to see the tarp on the field.
And before we go, I also want to throw in one more plug for the party deck, especially for the evening games. Pretty good sunset. I'm not going to lie. I've been able to come out here and get a few good pictures during the sunset from the party deck as well.
That's what I wish. I love my job as a public address announcer, but I am just so confined. Like, I had to use the bathroom in the middle of the game on Thursday, and I had to run during Jeff Gardner's at bat. And luckily, he fouled off like 3 or 4 pitches. I had plenty of time, but it would be nice to. You think the sound system, we could get like a wireless sound system and move it from the press box to right here?
I think we can maybe pull that off.
Okay, now then in addition to that, I'm gonna get
just gotta find a power plug-in somewhere. I know there's a couple, I think around the batting cages, perhaps.
Yeah. Maybe I can get the unlimited buffet as well, right? And the unlimited water and soft drinks.
That would be pretty good.
So
we get hungry during games.
No, we do get hungry. We do get hungry during games. Though I lose my appetite when I see Brandon Taylor, our scoreboard operator, get chicken strips and mustard, and he dips his chicken strips in mustard, and that's the grossest thing I have ever seen. It's worse than people who put scrambled eggs and mix it with ketchup.
I'm not going to comment on people's food tastes.
No, that's weird. That's weird. Very weird. So
there are things that I don't like that I'm sure people would love.
Okay. Well, Friday.
Lame, I know.
Yeah, Friday, come try the chicken strips and mustard Brandon special at the grill on the Outer Concourse. I bet it would be great. No. Friday, it's Kindle, 6:35 first pitch time. Saturday, it's Princess Night, Southwestern Indiana.
Junior Achievement of Southwestern Indiana, as well as a little bit sassy Children's Boutique, our 2 main sponsors for Princess Night.
Yes.
Fans are welcome. Kids are welcome to dress up in costumes. There'll be a parade. Of course, we'll have princesses here in attendance, photographs, autographs.
Can I dress up as a prince?
Sure, go for it. I mean, that is, yeah. Princes and princesses, gosh, that's hard to say.
No, it is.
Are welcome here through Bosse Field.
And the first 100
get free popcorn.
Yeah, so if you're in a costume, you can't just say you're like Prince Normal guy. You have to be like.
And we'll get a nice little show after the game as well.
Yeah, fireworks. Yeah, fireworks. And then Sunday, it's Fellowship Day powered by Very Global. Do you remember the Fellowship Day last year, how much fun it was?
I will never forget Fellowship Day of last year.
Yeah, Clint Thrasher did a great job. If Clint is watching down in Nashville, Tennessee,
unfortunately, it's an inside thing.
No, it is an inside job.
But what was so cool about last year's Fellowship Day, though, was out front on the concourse before the
concert.
Game. With the concert, Young Chris, the rapper, was here.
Yes.
Tyrone Edwards, the team chaplain, also spoke. And all the players were out there just listening and taking it in. I thought that was so cool, just kind of being right there with the fans as well.
It kind of felt like a tailgate atmosphere with the concert going on the Outer Concourse. So very cool. I know other cool things are planned for this year's installment of Fellowship Day powered by Very Global. But
and it's also Family Fun Day.
Family Fun Day. So fellowship, family, fun. Is there another F word we're looking for? Finale. So Sam's shaking his head. He's very tired.
I'll go ahead and say fireworks and the fact that Otters get a win.
Oh wow, you hear that? So next time we talk to you,
maybe some dramatic fireworks.
Yeah, next time we talk to you on Sunday,
put it down on the table.
Okay. Are you going to do something if they don't win?
We'll find out in the next recap video, I guess.
Alrighty. We have Eugene. Walked all the way out here, and actually a couple of fans as they were leaving Thursday petted him, so that was nice. He's Preston Leinenbach. I'm Zane Clodfelter. This has been Otters TV.